मेरा ये मानना है कि राजनीति सत्ता पाने की सीढ़ी नहीं, समाज की सेवा और देश की आत्मा की रक्षा की सीढ़ी है।
Radhika, you entered politics at the young age of 17. What inspired you to enter politics?
So I never wanted to enter politics. I had no intention of joining politics. A, this is not a job. B, you don't get paid. And joining politics, it has to come from within. No one can teach you to be a politician. My Nana ji was in the RSS. So, and I still remember when I joined the Congress, he told me ki mat join karo. Don't join the Congress. In a state which does where I don't belong, 1,000 kilometers away from my house, someone filmed the entire thing and released it with some TV channel. And I got a shock myself the next day when I saw that video of myself. The Congress, what was Rahul Gandhi asking for? कि discussion हो. Parliament session बुलाया गया. Discussion होने के लिए. When the Prime Minister was speaking, the opposition walked out. Not one leader of the opposition was there. That means you were just doing drama, right? I am saying this for a fact that in 22 years in Congress, I could not proudly say that I am a Hindu. मुझे डर के ये बात बोलनी पड़ती थी. So there were times that I was put off air because I was told that ये बहुत हिंदू हिंदू करती है. भाई मैं हिंदू हूँ, मैं करूँगी हिंदू हिंदू. I'm a proud हिंदू. जय श्री राम. मैं राधिका खेड़ा, भारतीय जनता पार्टी की राष्ट्रीय प्रवक्ता. मेरा ये मानना है कि राजनीति सत्ता पाने की सीढ़ी नहीं, समाज की सेवा और देश की आत्मा की रक्षा की सीढ़ी है. मैं मानती हूँ कि हर महिला की आवाज़ सशक्त होनी चाहिए और बुलंद होनी चाहिए और उसे कभी दबना नहीं चाहिए. और यही मेरा एम है कि मैं महिलाओं की आवाज़ बन सकूं ताकि किसी भी बेटी को ना घर में दबाया जाए ना काम पे दबाया जाए. हम महिलाएं हैं, आधी आबादी है और हमें अपनी आवाज़ उठाने का पूरा हक है.
Hello and welcome to the Paperback Monster podcast. Today with me, I have a very special guest because 9 p.m. news is incomplete without her. Radhika Khera. Thank you so much, Radhika, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Today, we'll be discussing her entire political journey, her transition from Congress to BJP, and her views on a lot of current affairs that are going on in the country. Radhika, you entered politics at the young age of 17. Most students want to party and enjoy life at that age. What inspired you to enter politics?
So I never wanted to enter politics. I had no intention of joining politics. I was ready to go study law abroad. And just after my final exams, I was a student in Delhi College of Arts and Commerce doing my political science honors. And I remember my final exam, there was one paper which used to be my favorite subject, political thought. So we had Indian political thought and Western political thought. So वो होते हैं ना बच्चे जो ज़्यादा पढ़ लेते हैं and then they get nervous on the day of the exam. I don't know what happened. I think now to think of it, it was destiny. So I couldn't write and I couldn't answer a basic question like what is the definition of slavery. And I just walked off. The principal went after me. He said, I still remember he made the guard close the gate that I don't exit the college. He said, don't waste your year. For a 50-mark paper, you're just going to waste your entire year. And I was going to London to do my law. But I just walked off. And I think maybe because I had to be here. And then that one gap year that I had, so I got introduced to student politics, DU politics. I started going to North Campus and visiting South Campus during elections, and that's how I got into it. Otherwise, I had no intentions of becoming a politician.
Wow. So that one gap year was a benefit to Indian politics, I guess.
Hopefully.
But I'm sure a lot of youngsters who are watching this episode must be wondering, how does one really enter politics? It's not a typical job, where one applies for an interview and gets in. So what is really the journey and what are the options a youngster has?
This is not a job. B, you don't get paid. And joining politics, it has to come from within. No one can teach you to be a politician. So either you start at a local level, as simple as an RWA, that's politics. Either maybe through an NGO, or you have to have that in you to work for the people, because it's a very thankless profession in the beginning when you're struggling. And like I said, you're not earning anything. There are many examples of people who are lawyers or also have their business on the side, but politics does not pay you. It only pays you in kind. If you are able to make a change in even one person's life, that makes a lot of difference. So if you want to get into politics, it just happens. You have to start working either at college level, maybe through an SUI or ABVP, or in your area, or maybe later on you join. Now you have social media, people join the social media team, or the Mahila wing for women, or maybe there are now lawyers associations, doctors associations. Every political party has those wings. So you can either connect through that, or maybe हमारे यहाँ तो दिल्ली में there's no panchayat system, but in other states that is there. So it has to come from inside, and it just happens. There's no thing like कि you go and give an interview and they will induct you.
Exactly. You joined the Indian National Congress when you entered politics, and you served the Indian National Congress for 22 years, till 2024, when you
Yes.
stunned the entire country by first quitting the Indian National Congress and then soon after joining the BJP. Why did you really decide to quit the Indian National Congress?
So I'm going to tell you something which I'm going to be trolled for a lot. I'm already sure before answering. I never wanted to join the Congress. Although I come from a family of freedom fighters, my great grandfather, my Pardadaji, he was in the jail for 15 years during the Rowlatt Act and everything, fighting for the freedom struggle. My Dadaji was the chief secretary involved in, you know, कहते हैं ना कांग्रेस को खड़ा करना दिल्ली के अंदर विदाउट देयर इंटरफियरेंस टिकट्स वर ऑल्सो नॉट गिवन बट आई लॉस्ट माई ग्रैंड फादर माई दादाजी एट अ वेरी यंग एज आई वॉज इन क्लास 3 maybe and my nanaji was in the RSS. So and I still remember when I joined the Congress, he told me कि मत join करो, don't join the Congress. So I'm a perfect example of not listening to our elders. So which gave me that opportunity. I interacted with the NSUI people. They took me to the Congress office. For a 17-year-old girl to stand in front of a union minister like Mukul ji, I think, and Ashok Gehlot ji, they used to be in charges of NSUI. So they were very, Oscar Fernandez ji, all these people were big stalwarts and ministers. So I was in awe and I joined the Congress. I think at the age of 17, your ideas and views can be molded very easily. And I come from Convent of Jesus and Mary, and Sheila Dikshit ji was from my school. Priyanka Gandhi ji was from my school. Then you had Aung San Suu Kyi, she was from my school. And there were lots of Congress leaders whose children were from my school. So I had an interaction with them. So वो by chance इधर चला गया. And then those 17 years, 22 years, I obviously, if you are in a place, you start thinking and you get molded. But at the end of the day, certain things happened. Like I said, it's always been what God has decided. But yes, I did change the party, and that's because one thing I was very clear on when I joined politics, that I have to stand up for myself. If I don't stand up for myself, I cannot fight for the other person who is looking at to. So I had to raise my voice after what happened and leave. And I think this has been the best decision of my life till date.
Oh, that's a big
Till
thing to
date,
say.
at times.
But what instigated you to leave Congress?
So, you know, when the Bharat Jodo Yatra, everyone is aware of it. So I was also in charge of that. During the Bharat Jodo Yatra, we were at this place called Korba in Chhattisgarh. And there was the same man who later on troubled me. He was the media head of the Congress, Chhattisgarh. He and his team started offering me alcohol. And they came up with weird ways to ask me कि हम आपके कमरे में पहुंचा देंगे. And I said no. And then they came to my room also, knocked. And I went and complained to Sachin Pilot. I went and complained to the state president of the Congress, Chhattisgarh. And they said, ha, we will take action. So the yatra finished, I came back home, and then there were Lok Sabha elections. I've been in charge of the media in Chhattisgarh for Congress for 4-5 years. I've seen the Congress come to power over there and lose power as well, both the times I was in charge. So during the Lok Sabha elections, Pawan Kheda ji, who's currently the media head, was supposed to come to Chhattisgarh. And obviously, if he's my media head, I'm supposed to ensure that his next day is well planned. That would be a basic thing for any boss who's coming. So it was about 6 in the evening, and the media head of Chhattisgarh had not made any plans of any press conference or which media channel houses we would be taking him to for a meeting. So when he hadn't planned anything, I made an agenda and I shared it with him. Ki, you know, since Pawanji is going to be here at 10 a.m. in the morning, I'll take him for breakfast, and then this is where we're going to go. So he started screaming and shouting and abusing me. Now this man had done this earlier also during the Vidhan Sabha elections, and I had ignored it. That sometimes there's a tiff, you know, and it's not just with me.
Do you want to mention the name of this man?
Of course, he's Sushil Anand Shukla.
Okay.
And it wasn't that he talks like, I thought कि maybe कि चलो we are working together, दो बर्तन होंगे तो बजेंगे. So maybe it was a normal anger thing, and that time also he had shouted at me. But then again, when this continuously happened, तो वो कहते हैं ना आदतन अपराधी, and then he just started screaming and shouting. See, irrespective of whatever I'm doing, nobody has the right to scream and shout at me and abuse me. And he started saying the filthiest of words, and he started screaming, "Get out of the Congress office." But you can't disrespect me or a chodo. You can't disrespect anybody. We are not paid employees or working under you. That if you can't even disrespect your paid employee. So, and there were three men in the room, and one of them just closed the door, and he latched it. And then I was crying, and I had, obviously, with you have three men, although nobody tried to physically assault me, but it was not a situation I wanted to be in. Uh, in a state which does where I don't belong, 1,000 kilometers away from my house. I'm living there alone, away from my family for months. And four men, lock me up in a room and get abusive, scream and shout. It was a very scary moment. Those 4 minutes were the scariest of my
It's a
life.
criminal offense, I think.
Absolutely. And anyways, you can't shut the door, and they were all men on that floor. And I screamed and I shouted and I ran. Ab दरवाजा खींचा, बाहर खींचा या अंदर खींचा, आई डोंट रिमेंबर. आई जस्ट डिड व्हाट बेस्ट वाज कि दरवाजे को धक्का देके बाहर निकलो. And I screamed and I said, call the general secretary in charge of the state, call him up, the Mahamantri जो होता है of the thing. He was sitting on the ground floor. I screamed at, shouted कि कोई बुला के लेकर आओ. And imagine a 41-year-old woman crying and asking for help. Nobody went and called him. And I ran. The office was on the first floor, and I was so scared because you're wearing a salwar kameez. Kuch phisal jao, gir jao in that state. I ran from the first floor. I went down. I went and sat down with the general secretary, Mahamantri of the Sangathan. And I'm crying over there. And just see the audacity of the Congress people. Someone filmed that. आपके घर के अंदर, बिकॉज उस समय ऑफिस में कांग्रेस के ही वर्कर्स थे आउटसाइड ऑफिस, आपके घर के अंदर अगर कुछ हो रहा है तो आप, और एक ही महिला है वहाँ पे, आप उसकी मदद करोगे या यू ट्राई टू सॉर्ट इट आउट. बट दे वांटेड टू फिल्म इट, एंड समवन filmed the entire thing and released it with some TV channel. And I got a shock myself the next day when I saw that video of myself. I called up Sachin Pilot. Sachin Pilot is the most inaccessible person there could be, which is why he is still not the chief minister. That's different. But if you're in charge of a state, you have to be accessible at least to the in charges. Janta se to aap dur hi hain. So his PA, as usual, picked up the phone and he said, "Oh, we are traveling to this place called Sarguja," which was an 8-hour journey by road. And he said, "We are in the car, so he cannot talk. You're not driving. You can just take the phone and listen to me." And he said, "That man said election ka time hai, so just keep quiet. I've spoken to him. Ignore it." That's what they must do. I called up Pavanji. I called up Jairam Ramesh. Jairam Ramesh didn't pick the phone. Pavanji called me back because he was in some meeting, and I briefed him about what happened. And I called up the former Chief Minister, Bhupesh Baghel, and I was very, very close to him and his family. I called up his political advisor, Vinod Verma ji, and I was speaking to Mr. Vinod Verma, the political advisor of the Chhattisgarh Chief Minister, on that video that was released. And I'm saying that and I have complained to all these people in the last 1 year about that man. So it was not something that was new, and nobody took action. So later when the former chief minister called me back, he said, "Haan, beta, kya hua?" And I said, and Sushil Anand Shukla is Bhupesh Baghel's man. He said, "Kya hua?" I said, this happened. And I am really scared, and I'm going to leave the Congress because my BPM went to 150. I was taken to the hospital. My iWatch kept beeping. It was a very scary thing. Sure. And even when I'm talking about it right now, after 1 year, my hands have gone cold when I think of that moment. And I was all alone, my family not there. I didn't know what would happen to me. And that man said, कि नहीं, तुम एक काम करो, तुम छत्तीसगढ़ छोड़ दो. That is not something you say.
That's not the solution. Yeah.
The basic thing जो बोली जाती है, आप एक्शन लो या ना लो, कोई आपसे आधी उम्र की लड़की आपको फ़ोन कर रही है, who takes you like a father figure, has worked with you for 5 years. You are our guardian when anything, but at least basic safety in the Congress office, that what you can provide us. And उसके बाद ये बोल देना छत्तीसगढ़ छोड़ दो. I didn't know how to react. That stunned me. And then Jairam Ramesh didn't have the time to call back for 3 days. I wrote to Priyanka Gandhi. I messaged her. I wrote to Rahul Gandhi. I wrote to everyone. Priyanka Gandhi blocked me. And there was no reaction. And the funniest part, when that video came out the next day, it had not even been 24 hours, and this entire thing reached the Mahila Congress president of Alka Lamba. She blocked me on Twitter. And a very good friend, Supriya Shrinate, another good friend, she unfollowed me on Twitter. This is how the women in Congress reacted. And I was not leaving the party at that time. I was just asking for action to be taken. And I said, conduct a free and fair inquiry. Send both of us a show cause notice. Both of us should not be allowed to sit on that stage till the time the inquiry is done, which is a basic thing. Any workplace pe kuch hoga, both are immediately asked to step down. You don't take away our post or whatever, but we should not be representing the party officially. And let the inquiry take place, and then you take the action. There was no show cause notice sent. I still remember Jairam Ramesh called me after 3 days and shouted at me. Why? He said, "Itni badi baat ho rahi hai during elections, you should just stay shut." So just because they're elections, I should not, raise my voice. And मैं तो बाहर आई भी नहीं थी. I was asking for help within the party only. But nobody, after, and 22 years you give somewhere, and उसके बाद एक शो कॉज नोटिस, मतलब आई वॉज नॉट इवन इस लायक कि आप एक शो कॉज नोटिस भेज सको. वॉट वॉज आई वॉज नॉट आस्किंग यू टू थ्रो दैट मैन आउट ऑफ द पार्टी. I said, whoever is wrong, take action against that person, but at least have a free and, inquiry to ho na, basic hota hai. So 4 days I waited, 5 days I waited, and then there was this drama. Chalo, the state president will call for a meeting. So my mother came down to Chhattisgarh. I went to that office. I was in the room with the state president alone, and he was writing down my version. Can you believe the question that man asked me? Aap sharab peeti ho? That is what the state president of Congress asked me. I said, matlab? Because I said, I had complained to you that these guys offered me liquor. He said, par tum sharab peeti ho kya? Thodi to peeti hogi kabhi kabhi.
And even if you drink, that's not the complaint.
If I drink, that still does not give a man who's much older than me or at my workplace the right to even offer me alcohol. And then when I left the party, it didn't end there. That's where it began. तो ये torture तो बस यहीं तक था. And then I realized that, what I had faced throughout in the last 6-7 months. I had gone to the Ram Mandir दर्शन के लिए. तो उसके बाद से ना एक पार्टी के अंदर ना मेरे को लेकर एक वो आ गया था. There were times that they would say, she's too Hindu. Just because I had, gone for the darshan और जय श्री राम बोलते हुए वीडियो था, which does not suit the Congress. So that's the time they dragged my mother, they dragged my younger brother, a 19-year-old boy who has nothing to do with politics. My mother, a senior citizen, independent filmmaker, has nothing to do with politics. And from the Congress platform, the official Congress office, there were press conferences done against my family. Why? Because I dared to raise my voice. And I was accused of not going to the police. अब निपुण मैं पुलिस में जाती तो फिर बोलते कि ये तो बीजेपी की वजह से अरेस्ट कर दिया है. And the day this happened, the BJP, they didn't know that I would leave the party or not. The day this happened, few hours में, the chief minister and the Griha Mantri of Chhattisgarh, they said that she can go to any police station and complain, and if she needs help, we will send the police to her if she's scared. And she does not need to worry. At a time when my own Congress family, no one had the guts to come and even sit with me in the hotel where I was staying. And if you see, there has been a line, Priyanka Chaturvedi, she was abused when she was doing a press conference for the party. She was abused, threatened of rape. She had to leave the party because action was not taken. Ankita Datta, another, she was the state president of Assam Youth Congress. We were in the same Youth Congress committee. She complained against sexual harassment against the national president of Youth Congress, Srinivas. He continued to retain the power. And she was, in fact, for complaining for 2 years regularly, she was thrown out of the party. No action, no inquiry was ever taken. And there was there was this girl from Uttar Pradesh, Archana Gautam. She's a Dalit girl. She was on Big Boss and an actress now. And she was a brand ambassador of the Ladki Hoon Lad Sakti Hoon campaign. Priyanka Vadra gave her the ticket, went to campaign for her. And that girl was beaten up at 24 Akbar Road. The mandir, the church or whatever they want to call it of the Congress, that is the national headquarters of the Congress. And she was beaten up by people sent by Priyanka Vadra's PA, and everybody knows. And on camera, she was beaten up because she wanted to meet Priyanka Gandhi. No action was taken. That girl left the party. there was so many. Then I still remember when I was a part of the media department, there was this girl who used to work in the social media team. She was an employee of the Congress, and Divya Spandana was the head. And at that time, a man had sexually assaulted that girl. She complained, and that Divya Spandana issued a character certificate of that man to not take action against that guy. So that is how Congress has dealt with, you know, all these things. No action has ever been taken on the man who's been accused. हमेशा तो लड़की गलत नहीं हो सकती ना. I still remember there was a debate on Aaj Tak I went on, and there was a Congress spokesperson Ragini Nayak. She says, she tells the anchor, वो एग्जैक्ट वर्ड आई रिमेंबर कि न्याय कैसे मिलेगा अंजना जी, ये तो पार्टी छोड़ के चली गई. And that anchor told her, what are you saying? Just because she left the party, you will not take action. Matlab, because I have left the party, you will continue to have a man who harasses women so that he harasses another woman. No action has been taken. How does me leaving the party justify him still being there and not doing an inquiry? और जो उस आदमी ने, जो प्रेसिडेंट ने वो किया था, हमसे बातचीत करी थी 2 घंटे की, उसकी रिपोर्ट आज तक नहीं आई. द रिपोर्ट हैड टू बी फाइल्ड विद इन 24 आवर्स. 3 दिन हो गए. जब वो रिपोर्ट उन्होंने सबमिट नहीं करी, तब मैंने पार्टी छोड़ी. पहले मैंने रेजिग्नेशन दिया. आई वेटेड 24 आवर्स. नथिंग हैपेंड. Then I did a press conference. Then I waited 2 days, and then I joined the BJP. So I still waited that my party, my family would stand up with. अरे किसी के लिए तो कुछ तो बोलो. Kept quiet. And so I had women calling me up, former Mahila Congress president. I will take her name. Her name was Neta D'Souza. She called me during the campaign and she said she wanted me to go and campaign for a certain seat. And I said, Didi, I can't do this. I'm going through all this. She said, you listen to me, Radhika. घर में शादी होती है ना, तो हम चुप हो जाते हैं अगर हमारे साथ कोई harassment ऐसी होती है.
Yeah. No, and really sorry about what you had to go through. But you mentioned some very senior leaders like Sachin Pilot and Jairam Ramesh, who you went to
Priyanka
complain
Gandhi
about this, and
blocked
you're
me.
saying that they took no action, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
Jairam Ramesh shouted at me.
And now that you're in the BJP, what is the difference that you see in the leadership in both parties in terms of
there
feedback
is.
from internal party members?
So there is this huge difference. The biggest difference I saw in this party, all leaders are accessible. You call someone, I'm new, nobody has my phone number saved on their phone. I call someone, and if they don't take my call or they're busy, I get a call back, whether it's after 4 hours or 5 hours. If I ask for time, you get time. And this is something that I've heard from the cadre as well. All leaders are accessible. You can go and meet anyone. Remember, I worked with 3 media in charges. None of them had time to meet their spokespersons. Their spokespersons used to keep asking for time. There were no meetings that were done. Here, every day, all spokespersons sit and interact with each other. Our in charges, Anil Baluni ji, Sanjay Mayuk ji, are accessible to us, to any spokesperson. In fact, even the General Secretary organization, can you believe it, Nipun? I was an AICC office bearer. And in my entire tenure of 7 years, I had never met KC Venugopal ji, who was the General Secretary organization. I asked for time. Imagine if I didn't get time, what was happening to... And I was a face of the party, representing the party on television. You gave me a ticket to contest from Delhi Vidhan Sabha. And then my General Secretary organization, I had never met him. Here, you go for time, you ask, you go to his office, you wait over there, they meet you. Accessibility to your worker. And the BJP has been so welcoming. I have not once felt over here कि मैं कांग्रेस से आई हूँ या मैं अपनी पूरी लाइफ आपको... There are times I didn't delete any of my tweets. They're still all there because I have nothing to hide. It wasn't something that happened with a planned thing. So why should I have to hide what my past was? So my tweets are there, and I still remember when I joined the BJP, Nipun. Immediately after joining, I went to meet JP Nadda ji, and he welcomed me to the party. And the first thing I told him, I said, sir, my last tweet that I did before all this was trolling you. And I am feeling ashamed today that you are welcoming me and you are not, sometimes I do feel that I have said so much, and yet the BJP has been so welcoming. I have not felt out of, and I feel that I have always been here, then they are my family. which is a very big thing. They have a very large heart for having me here and making me feel comfortable, which they didn't need to. Especially for someone who has been such a vocal critic of the Prime Minister, of the Home Minister, of all BJP leaders.
I'm glad you're in a happy place after everything that you've gone through. But a lot of people will empathize with the fact why you quit Congress because of what you had to face in Chhattisgarh. But a lot of people will also be very confused about the fact that you joined BJP after being such a big critique of BJP for so long, especially for 10 years after they were in power. Just before you joined BJP, you'd criticize BJP for Manipur, you'd
Yes.
also attacked the Home Minister for the Parliament attack, and
Good research.
asked for his resignation on Twitter is what I noticed.
Oh, like I said, I still have those tweets all available.
Yeah,
And I didn't delete
I'm
them.
glad you did not delete those tweets.
And I
in
was
fact,
not
that's very
asked.
sporting of you.
I was not
But,
asked by the party to delete them.
How does your conscience agree with that bigger shift in terms of your views
See,
when it compares?
Nipun, we are all here in politics. At least I joined politics to serve the nation. Yes, I joined a certain ideology, but your ideology can change. When, like I said, अगर मैं अपने लिए आवाज़ नहीं उठा सकती, तो मैं किसी और की आवाज़ बनने के लायक नहीं हूँ. So tomorrow I will not be able to fight for another oppressed woman if I don't fight for myself. Now, having said that, yes, I did raise the Manipur issue. I did question the Griha Mantri on many issues. But if you see as a spokesperson of the Congress, what was the Congress asking for? Which is a thing that everybody needs to know. The Congress was saying that the Prime Minister is not speaking on Manipur. The government is silent on Manipur. There is no discussion. Now, after I joined the BJP, and if you see, we did raise our voice as Rahul Gandhi wanted us to. Rahul Gandhi went for a photo opportunity. But why did Manipur burn the way it did? It is because of the 54 years of misgovernance of the Congress. You cannot deny जो वो बीज बोए थे कांग्रेस ने of communalism वहाँ पे, which is the reason why Manipur was burning. Lots of wrong decisions which led to continuous things in Manipur. Now, when the time came, Congress A should have owned up to its mistakes. Now, when Rahul Gandhi apologizes for 84, he should also apologize for what happened in Manipur, because that was because of the policies of the Congress government. That today, because of their appeasement policies. Now, when the government agreed, the Congress, what was Rahul Gandhi asking for? कि discussion हो. Parliament session बुलाया गया. Discussion होने के लिए. When the Prime Minister was speaking, the opposition walked out. Not one leader of the opposition was there. That means you were just doing drama, right? That is not what I was raising my voice for or writing on Twitter for. I believed in my leader that he wanted the Prime Minister to speak. The Prime Minister spoke, but my leader was not there. What is the first priority कि वहाँ पे लोगों को शांति मिले, वो आग बुझे, communal riots रुके, there's शांति over there, normal life वापस आए, कि पहले आके प्रधानमंत्री उस पे बोले. Normal situation is to first diffuse the situation and then the Prime Minister will come and speak. But when the Prime Minister speaks, you walk out. So that clearly showed that we were just raising our voice for drama. Congress actually has lost all track of what it was. क्या कांग्रेस की आइडियोलॉजी थी? राहुल गांधी इज टेकन अ यू टर्न. राहुल गांधी जस्ट गोज ऑन दिस narrative कि हाँ किसी like today if you meet Rahul Gandhi, I'll tell you for an example, if you get an appointment, that is if you do, and you go and sit and talk to him, Nipun, he'll speak to you. If you talk to him about politics, he will show less interest. Talk to him about traveling to some European country, he will show more interest. I'm telling you out of experience. And then if you give him one idea which clicks and which is different, without thinking the pros and cons, वो उसी चीज़ को repeat करते रहेंगे हर जगह, बिना पढ़े बिना समझे. And you will have a like a bonus point if you have a dog and you discuss about dogs with him, that he will give you 5 more minutes. It's a fact. So he will not see the consequences. Like I said, हमने सवाल उठाया, like Rahul Gandhi asked us to. I questioned. I just mirrored what my leader said. But जब सामने से जवाब आया, you're the opposition. Yes, you are there for checks and balances. But जब the government is working, you have to listen. And if the government is still not doing its job, आप question करो ना कि ये क्या कमी रह गई, वो क्या कमी रह गई. By staging a walkout and sitting outside Parliament, are you fighting for the people's rights? Are you ensuring that every citizen of Manipur is getting what they deserve? Or so that means it was just a photo op for you. So that is something. उस साइड पे जब रहते थे ना, हम एक अलग जोश में होते थे कि इसको अपोज करो. That was वो था ना brainwashed. At 17, I was brainwashed into this ideology. And I was, obviously now, there will be certain times that I will not agree with the things in any party. You don't agree with your parents also at most times. But like I said कि जब वो चीज़ हो रही है, आप अपोज कर रहे हो, बहुत अच्छी बात है, सवाल उठाना ज़रूरी है, इसीलिए ऑपोजिशन है, इसलिए डेमोक्रेसी है. बट उसके बाद आप भाग क्यों रहे हो जवाब से? So yes, like I said, Manipur was an issue, but we resolved it. And as in terms of terror attacks, there has been a drastic reduction in terror attacks. If you remember, when I was in the Congress, 26/11 happened. The then Griha Mantri changed his clothes 3 times. The Chief Minister of Maharashtra, the Congress Chief Minister of Maharashtra, reached the location with his son and a very famous film director to decide the plot for the next movie. That is a fact. And today, if something happened, whether it was Pahalgam, the Griha Mantri was there. First, cognizance was taken, situation was handled, he went and met the families. We have to ensure there is peace. So the government is walking the talk, and I am glad to be on this side where I am just not opposing things for the heck of it. And अब आके दिख रहा है, आंखें खुल रही हैं कि अच्छा ये भी किया हुआ है, ये भी किया हुआ है, जो उधर सोचा ही नहीं था कि ये हो भी रहा है.
Another thing that you often spoke about as a Congress spokesperson was that, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas does not really include minorities, and they are being left behind.
You have done like this crazy research on me. सारे मेरे पुराने tweets इतना तो opposition भी नहीं देख रही है.
इसलिए आपको delete कर देने चाहिए थे, I guess.
नहीं, that's
नहीं, I'm just joking.
That is who I
of
was,
course.
right?
Yeah, it's very yeah.
Why should and I'm not ashamed of who I was.
But do you think Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is taking everybody along?
Absolutely. So, when I was on the other side of the fence, we were made to believe that, bhai, Muslims don't have a voice in the Bharatiya Janata Party. Obviously, मेरे को तो पता नहीं office में क्या होता था या how the party works or how the BJP functions. I had just seen the Congress. You don't know how दूसरे के घर में क्या हो रहा है. So we were made to believe by our leaders and the briefings that we were given that the party is absolutely anti-Muslim. And when I reached here, if you see spokespersons की बात करती हूँ, you have Shehzad Poonawalla, you have Shazia Ilmi, you have Zafar Islam, you have Shah Nawaz Hussain ji, you have Mukhtar Naqvi ji. There's so many Muslim leaders who are spokespersons and who represent our party every day. And very, you see them on most national channels and recognized faces. They're all Muslims. And also, one thing that I saw when it comes to Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, the Bharatiya Janata Party is not only looking at one religion as a minority. Now, Muslims are not a minority in India. They are the second largest majority in the country after Hindus, which is a fact. They are no more a minority like the Sikhs or the Christians or the Parsis or the Jains for that matter. And today you have a minority minister who's from another religion. All Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas means that every religion should get. Why only one religion should always be there as the minority minister? In the Congress governments, always there was only one religion ka minister as the minority minister. Today you have another religion. When you're talking about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, everybody should be there. And we clearly know that the Muslims don't vote for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Some do, but majority don't. Yet the Prime Minister has never questioned. Have you ever heard कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर आवास योजना के तहत जो घर मिल रहा है वो आपका धर्म पूछ के दिया जा रहा है, या द इंश्योरेंस और द मेडिकल फैसिलिटीज और द फैक्ट दैट वी हैव द बिगेस्ट फूड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नेटवर्क, फ्री more than 25 crore people are getting free food, क्या धर्म पूछ के दिया जा रहा है? We are not one policy of the government is questioning what your religion is. And all religions, and there have been numerous interviews of TV channels who have and the stingers who have gone and asked Muslims कि आपको सब कुछ मिल रहा है? हाँ, हमें घर भी मिला है, हमारे नल में पानी भी आया है जो नहीं था, हर घर में नल का, बिजली, which was the biggest thing that this government has done, which the Congress didn't do in 54 years.
There's this perception in the media that Congress is famous for appeasing Muslims and BJP wears Hinduism on its shoulder in that sense. And I'm not really endorsing or disagreeing with either of those two perceptions. My question to you is that, after you went to the Ram Mandir, there was opposition against you within the Congress as well.
Yes.
And going to a temple is, of course, a personal choice, irrespective of whether you are in the party. If you're in the BJP, you have a right to go to the mosque, I feel, and if you're in the Congress, you have a right to go to the mandir.
Yeah.
According to you personally, what role should religion really play in politics?
Religion plays a very important role in politics. We are a secular country, which is why where we are today. If we were not secular, and अगर यहाँ पे majority हिंदू नहीं होते, इंडिया secular नहीं होता. It's a fact. Look at your neighbors. You look at Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan. वहाँ पे हिंदूज majority में नहीं है. एक particular religion majority में है, and those countries are not secular. The fact that the basic fabric of this country is secular is the reason why India has progressed and those countries have not. They are sitting with begging bowls and India is not. The fact that we are able to look in the eye to the US today, or you've seen that picture of strength with Russia and China that is there. India is a equal partner, is because we are a secular country. If we were not a secular country, we would be with the begging bowl like Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. It's a fact. So religion, yes, plays a very important role. And I believe one should wear the religion on their sleeve. They should proudly say कि मैं इस धर्म से हूँ या उस धर्म से, उसमें छुपाने वाली क्या बात है? डर के क्यों रहना है? But I am saying this for a fact that in 22 years in Congress, I could not proudly say that I am a Hindu. मुझे डर के ये बात बोलनी पड़ती थी. आज मुझे नहीं बोलनी पड़ती. And see, religion has always been an issue. 500 साल से मुद्दा तो था ही ना राम मंदिर. Religion plays a very, very important role in making and the country is progressing because of being secular. So you should not have to hide your religion. You should proudly be allowed to wear your kalawa or a tika, or for that matter, if Muslims want to wear the cap that they wear, or जो भी हमारे वो है, सबको अपना allowance. And Nipun, I'll share a very quick example with you. When I was in the Congress, so I never used to go on debates which would appease one section that the Congress wanted me to. I was very clear that I will not speak against my religion. I clearly said no. So there were times that I was put off air because I was told that ये बहुत हिंदू करती है. भाई मैं हिंदू हूँ, मैं करूँगी हिंदू. I'm a proud Hindu. आप proud whatever religion के हो, आप अपने religion के लिए बोलो. If I cannot proudly talk about my religion, I'm sorry, I cannot be secular. Respecting my religion, proudly talking about my religion does not mean I am disrespecting another religion. So I still remember you. And yes, when I went for the Ram Mandir का जब another example I'll tell you, जब राम मंदिर की मूर्ति स्थापना हो रही थी राम जी की वहाँ पर रामलल्ला की, तो इफ़ यू रिमेंबर VHP एंड RSS पीपल वेंट घर घर और सबके घर में वो राम मंदिर के वो जो चावल और वो दिए थे एंड सबको इनविटेशन दिया था. पूरे हिंदुस्तान में घर घर जाके इनविटेशन दिया गया था. नाउ आई कम फ्रॉम अ फैमिली ऑफ मेजर राम भक्ट्स. माई नानी, माई मॉम एंड माई नानी तो इवन वेंट टू द राम मंदिर जब राम जी को टेंट में रहना पड़ रहा था. सो शी वॉज वेटिंग and she passed away last year, and after she saw the Ram Mandir being inaugurated, तो जब राम मंदिर की स्थापना हुई तो मेरे घर में बहुत बड़ा सुंदरकांड का पाठ हुआ. मेरे घर के बाहर जय श्री राम का झंडा भी लगा, आज भी है, तब से था. And I made reels and I put it up on social media. I was called by a very senior leader, I'm not going to name him, and I was told, get that off your Twitter handle. From an official, it was an official call to remove that. Get it off your social media, because that had a lot of views. And I said, no, I will not. Why should I have to hide my religion? No, it is against the party line. उसके बाद मैं राम मंदिर होके आई. They said, तुम VIP दर्शन कैसे आई, करके आई, तुम किसी BJP वाले के थ्रू गई. अरे उस लाइन, मैं तो लाइन में लग के गई हूँ, और वो वीडियो में दिख रहा है कि मैं लाइन में जा रही हूँ. मैं तो तब भी कहती थी जब मूर्ति की स्थापना हो रही थी कि राहुल गांधी को लाइन में लग के दर्शन करके आने चाहिए. सिर्फ जनेऊ शर्ट के ऊपर पहनने से कोई हिंदू नहीं हो जाता है. और अगर आप शिव जी के बड़े भक्त हैं तो आप सबसे बड़े भक्त राम जी के ऑटोमेटिकली हो जाएंगे, क्योंकि शिव जी भी राम जी को मानते थे. तो आप फर्जी भक्त हैं अगर आप कह रहे हैं कि आप शिव जी के भक्त हैं और राम जी के मंदिर में नहीं जा रहे. What stopped Rahul Gandhi from going to the Ram Mandir? His yatra went from there. And then these Congress people say कि हम तो मंदिर होके आए थे. कोई भी मंदिर के अंदर नहीं हो गया था. बाहर हनुमानगढ़ी और बाकी मंदिरों के बाहर कूद के एक ट्रिप में फोटो खिंचाने के लिए चले गए, ये दिखाने को कि हम मंदिर होके आए. अंदर जाके दर्शन करके आओ ना. मंदिर की मूर्ति की स्थापना हुई नहीं तो तुम क्या दर्शन करके आए हो? सो सबका साथ सबका विकास is truly over here, and actually, and the fact that I am free to practice my religion and ये नहीं डरना कि मैं फोटो डालूंगी and I will be pulled up for it and I will be called too Hindu. Imagine being called too Hindu.
Rahul Gandhi gave a very passionate presentation recently on vote chori, and he showed multiple examples from Madhevpuri and Haryana.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of international media attention as well. Why is BJP not calling for an independent probe on this? Wasn't that the best way to silence your critics?
So international media attention, Nipun, is because Rahul Gandhi is running the agenda of George Soros and a certain section which wants destabilization in India. How they destabilized our neighboring countries, they want that, and Rahul Gandhi runs their agenda, which is very clear. Having said that, yes, Rahul Gandhi did give a presentation. Now in Karnataka, when he gave, I'll give you both the examples. Karnataka, when he gave that presentation, his own minister, Mr. Revanna, who's the only ST minister in the cabinet, he was removed from cabinet because he dared to say that the issue that Rahul Gandhi is raising is from the time of the Congress. He said categorically कि ये तो कांग्रेस के समय में होता था and ये कांग्रेस की गलती है. Next thing, K.C. Venugopal was called by Rahul Gandhi and that man was sacked from the cabinet. And when you come to Haryana, a party which still after 11 months of losing an election has not been able to decide their leader of opposition, and they are talking about vote chori, the amount that those leaders fought among themselves, there are 6 camps in Haryana Congress. Each leader is ready to make इसके बेटे को हराओ, इसकी बहन को हराओ. एक तो सब वहां पे फैमिली रन फैमिली ड्रामा चलता है हरियाणा कांग्रेस में. सबके बेटे बेटियां भाई बहन वाइफ चुनाव लड़ते हैं एंड देन ऑल दोज फ्रैक्शंस फाइट अगेंस्ट ईच अदर कि सामने वाले को हराना है. खुद की पार्टी एक दूसरे को हरा रही है. व्हाई यू ब्लेमिंग द इलेक्शन कमीशन? एंड if Rahul Gandhi, if we are ready for any probe, पहली बात तो we are not the election commission. If election commission wants to hold a probe, they are open to it. लेकिन why is Rahul Gandhi scared in giving that affidavit? Bihar, SIR.
I'm glad you mentioned Bihar and SIR because that's been another criticism of the election commission, right? The 65 lakh votes.
Yes, and the best part is all those people again. You saw वहाँ पे राहुल गांधी की रैली में there was this one woman who said राहुल गांधी को हमारा नाम नहीं है. 15 मिनट बाद जब इलेक्शन कमीशन उस लेडी के पास पहुंचती है with the media, that woman says, oh my name is so there, we were paid so much by the team of Rahul Gandhi to go and say that. 3 people said that कि we were paid to say this in front of Rahul Gandhi. You are saying कि वोट चोरी होती है तो SIR तो you should acknowledge it ना. You should be happy that we are cleaning this. Why did you have to wait? The last SIR that was held was in 2013. No, 2003, sorry. Was in 2003. Why was the Congress government sleeping? Rahul Gandhi was running the show for 10 years. He had the remote control. Dr. Manmohan Singh ji was not the Prime Minister. Rahul Gandhi was tearing ordinances up. He was deciding कि कौन सा बिल होगा कौन सा नहीं होगा. So that means he was the de facto Prime Minister. What stopped him from having this exercise? That should have been done. That was the responsibility of the Congress. आज जब सफाई हो रही है तो तकलीफ है. वोट चोरी. राहुल गांधी should focus on the ground and realities.
There's another big controversy that's going on about this new 130th Amendment of the Indian Constitution, which says that if somebody's been in jail for more than 30 days, they do not qualify to become a chief minister or a prime minister. It's a fact that enforcement agencies are always with the party in power. That's how Indian democracy is structured. And a lot of the same BJP leaders who are right now ministers have been in jail during the emergency as well. So don't you think, and that was obviously because of dissent, so don't you think this will get people scared about dissent in that sense? And don't you think it's anti-democratic from that perspective?
There is a member of parliament who is a very close aide of the Gandhi family, who is seen every day during the parliament session with Priyanka Vadra ji, जिसने कहा था प्रधानमंत्री की बोटी बोटी कर देंगे. He's an MP from Uttar Pradesh. If we were misusing the agencies or using the agencies, that man would not be in parliament. He would be in jail for saying कि मैं प्रधानमंत्री की बोटी बोटी कर दूंगा. There are n number of Congress MPs who sat outside an Indigo plane when Mr. Pawan Kheda ji was being arrested, and they said मोदी को जमीन में गाड़ देंगे. They are still members of parliament and no ED CBI has reached them. There are many chief ministers of the opposition, whether it is Omar Abdullah Sahab or you have Mr. Reddy of Telangana or Mr. Stalin of Tamil Nadu, those who have not done any corruption so far, no ED, no CBI has gone to them. So corruption करोगे तो ED CBI जाएगी. And then you have the court. आपको कोर्ट में भी विश्वास नहीं है, आपको किसी चीज़ में विश्वास नहीं है तो घर बैठो. क्यों आप चुनाव भी लड़ते हो? And second thing, राहुल गांधी ने ही वो ऑर्डिनेंस फाड़ा था ना, when Dr. Manmohan Singh was saving all these people. He said, I will not take this. What has changed from then to this day? If he was going with this, Rahul Gandhi is a very confused man. He himself tore up that ordinance which was going to save Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav ji. Now today he's opposing this. And have you ever seen, if you remember, Indira Gandhi ji, when she was caught with vote chori, what did she do? She declared emergency. And what is the Prime Minister today doing? The Prime Minister himself has brought himself under the purview of this act. So if he is also at fault, he will have to resign and he can be arrested.
I've taken a lot of your time, so I'm going to ask you
Yes.
one final question.
Yes.
And this is about internal democracy in BJP in that sense, because you've spoken about the kind of harassment you faced in the Congress. There are a lot of people who will say that, BJP could deserve the same criticism for how they stayed silent on Mr. Brij Bhushan Singh after a lot of women wrestlers spoke up
Yeah.
against him. There's another criticism that Mr. Nadda's term as president ended more than
Okay.
a year back and a new president has not been selected. So what is your view on BJP's internal democracy, especially as somebody who can compare it to another party? That
I'll
you work
quickly
closely
answer
with?
both of those questions.
Yes.
Those women wrestlers who raised questions. There was a very famous woman wrestler who orchestrated the entire movement against Mr. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh ji, and a very well-known male wrestler. Where are they today, Nipun? One is a national, some department head, I think OBC or Kisan Congress head of the Congress, and the other is an MLA from the Congress. That entire protest was orchestrated by the Congress party for political benefits. And Mr. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh ji was not given an MP ticket when that entire thing was going on. He does not continue to sit as the media head like Sushil Anand Shukla does. Coming to Nadda ji's election, well, the Bharatiya Janata Party is the world's largest political party. Now, we had an entire membership process. I was also, all of us were doing our membership, and crores, we had a new record. And it takes time because इतने लोग हैं, सारे states के elections हो गए, mostly सारे states के election हो गए. It's a process. अब ऐसा तो नहीं है ना कि the Gandhi family has to decide. Sonia ji will pick up the phone. I'm telling you for a fact, when the elections between Shashi Tharoor ji and Khadge ji were happening, do you really think that Khadge ji would have got more votes over Mr. Shashi Tharoor? Let's be very practical and very honest. If I had my vote, I would vote for Mr. Shashi Tharoor ji. It's a fact. But yet, Sonia ji called up every state president and said, वैसे वोट कुछ हुई नहीं थी, बस ऐसे होता था, हाँ हमारी सारी वोट इधर है. उसके बाद वोट का ड्रामा हुआ कि करके, and all of them were told to go and vote for Khadge ji because everybody knew Shashi Tharoor ji would speak his mind, and we saw an example during Operation Sindoor, how he was treated.
Okay, so we now have a rapid fire and I request you
Yes.
to answer in 1 or 2 lines. X or Instagram, where is the real political action?
X, absolutely.
Your dream dinner guest and why?
Well, two people, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji and Premanand Maharaj ji.
English or Hindi news TV debates and why?
Now, you got me on that one. Both. I like both.
Your one piece of advice for Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
Can I have like 2-3 pieces of advice?
Go
for
ahead.
you? He should first decide what the Congress ideology is. He has taken a U-turn from what the Congress has been, what Congress has been fighting for all through the time Indira ji created this Congress I. He has taken a complete U-turn. Second, he himself doesn't know what he wants. If he wanted to go to Punjab, like they announced a day back that he's going to Punjab and he goes to Lankavi, to first decide कि क्या करना है, कौन से इशू पे सीधा चलना है या नहीं चलना है, and सच बोलना शुरू करना है. He has to stop lying. And राहुल जी, डरो मत इन सब चीज़ों से.
Your one piece of advice for Prime Minister Modi.
I am sorry, I am no one to give him advice. I really respect him. And उनको मेरी इतनी वो नहीं है हैसियत कि मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी को एडवाइस दूं. जिस तरीके से उन्होंने इस देश को कहाँ से कहाँ लाके खड़ा किया है.
Right. Thank you so much, Radhika.
Thank you.
Thank you.